Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, one person dies after multiple swimmers struggle in waters off Seabrook Beach. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
When it matters most, for more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
News at 10 tonight. One person is dead after multiple swimmers became trapped in dangerous currents off Seabrook Beach. Good evening. I'm Charisse LeClaire. A 49-year-old man has died and a 47-year-old woman was taken to the hospital with severe injuries. Both of them are from Methuen, Massachusetts. And tonight we are hearing from a man who rushed from a house nearby to save lives using a paddleboard. He is shaken and tired tonight, but says he would do it all over again. Matt Tomaszewski was expecting a beautiful beach day with his wife and baby daughter at his family's Seabrook Beach house.
I heard a lot of individuals screaming for help.
That's when he ran to the water with a paddleboard in hand. Coming up on a group of 3 people clinging to a surfboard, he then saw another group farther out in the dangerous waves needing help. A group of 3 struggling to stay above water. One man appeared to be unconscious.
At that point, I helped the third individual, the one that was looked to be unconscious, get his head out of the water, helped to try to take his torso and put that as much as I could on top of the paddleboard, while the other 2 were just holding on.
That's when Matt says a massive wave came, sending the man off his paddleboard. They tried to swim out to him, but ultimately made the choice to send the 2 remaining swimmers on the paddleboard to shore on an incoming wave, leaving Matt out in the rough ocean without a board, losing sight of the man who was still in the water. He says he started swimming to shore when he came across a police officer who had paddled back out on that same paddleboard. That officer stopping him briefly. Matt was able to make his way to shore, only now realizing the emotion of it all. At one point, his own wife thought he had been taken away by the waves.
I learned afterwards that the 2 people that I helped have 3 daughters. And I'm a father myself. So when I was running out there, I was thinking about save as many people as I can. And to be honest, on my way back in, it was all about thinking about my family.
Very brave of him. Because of the dangerous currents, a water advisory has been posted. The Seabrook Police Department issued the code red alert on its Facebook and Twitter accounts. No word yet on when that advisory could be lifted.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Very scary stuff there. 3-year-old hit by car killed while riding bike. A 3-year-old was struck by a car and fatally injured Sunday while riding a bike in Worcester, police said. The child was riding a bicycle on the sidewalk near 15 L'Oreal Street when he entered a parking lot, police said. A Nissan Armada was pulling out of a parking space around 2:45 p.m. when it hit the boy and his bike. Officers said the crash reconstruction unit first went to the parking lot on L'Oreal Street, then to the hospital where they were told the child had died. Police said the incident is under investigation. At this time, no citations or criminal charges have been filed or issued. "5K Half Marathon honors Corporal Gene Cole." Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
1,000 hit the streets to honor fallen Deputy Eugene Cole. Cole was shot and killed in the line of duty in April. Today's memorial race was held at the Millstream School in Norridge Walk. Participants had the option to compete in a 5K or a half marathon, which was slightly longer. It was 13.12 miles in honor of Corporal Cole's badge number 1312. Somerset County Sheriff Dale Lancaster was overwhelmed by the outpouring support from the community. He says Corporal Cole would have felt the same.
Not only would he have been overwhelmed, but he would have been honored that so many people came out.
All proceeds from the race will go to the Cole family to be used towards a scholarship fund.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Don't expect a grand bargain from U.S.-China trade talks, experts say. Let's take a listen to the video from CNBC.
How does new Doveman Plus Care Stain Defense go beyond sweat protection?
Clean.
Doesn't say my clothes.
I don't get the underarm pit stains.
Well, we couldn't have said it better ourselves. Try new Doveman Plus Care Stain Defense for anti-stain and anti-mark protection.
I don't think this is where we get any kind of a bargain with China on trade. I don't think that's coming any time in the near future. I think there are just fundamental issues that are part and parcel to the Chinese economy, the subsidies, the technology transfers, the protection of the local markets. That's not going to go away, so there's no grand bargain. In terms of the Chinese coming to the table, I think there is clearly an advantage that the Americans have in terms of the amount of products that they import and the amount of tariffs that they can put against a much larger volume of goods. The Chinese will ultimately run out of tariffs to retaliate it with. However, again, because of these core fundamental issues that, again, are part of the economic nationalism that we see in China, I don't see any grand bargain.
So what type of concessions could we see from the Chinese in this next round of talks?
You know, I think there might be talk about perhaps liberalizing markets. We keep hearing that in China, perhaps opening the door a little bit more for technology companies. I think it's a very interesting sort of subplot going on here with Google and the news about Google wanting to re-enter the Chinese market. So, maybe we'll hear something about that. But again, I think at this point I wouldn't be too optimistic.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. I hope it's a boy for him. Pregnant wife weeks before husband allegedly killed her. In a Facebook post in June, Shannon Watts greeted her husband home wearing a t-shirt reading, "Whoops, we did it again," and holding a pregnancy test showing they were expecting their third child. In the video, Chris Watts appeared happy, telling his wife of more than 5 years, "That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens." Less than 2 months later, Chris Watts, 33, stood in front of a TV news camera, his arms folded, and appealed for his pregnant wife and their 2 young daughters, Bella, 4, and Chelsea, 3, who seemingly vanished without a trace, to come home. And that did it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.